I watched this game sparingly in the first half. It was a marquee matchup that I was looking forward to. I didn't get to make my picks, but I had the Bears winning this game. You're coming off a gruesome loss 2 weeks ago on the road in Lambeau. You felt like you could have won that game if you would just made that one big throw. And I'm sitting here thinking, no Micah Parsons. Your Packers on the road. Big game for playoff implications, number one seed implications, winning the division. Like, this game was huge for the Bears. I was like, there's no way Ben Johnson and the Bears dropped this game. And it was starting to look like that. Jordan Love gets hurt. Malik Willis, he comes in. The Packers offense doesn't seem to skip a beat to a certain degree. And Caleb Williams and the Bears offense could not do nothing for 3 quarters. But man, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, this guy, Caleb Williams, just seems to answer the call. And my one takeaway when I'm watching the performance that Caleb Williams put on, I really, really feel like one more year with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams can be amongst the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The knock on Caleb Williams right now is he cannot play 4 quarters of football. I've talked about it multiple times. Probably not on my podcast. I'll probably bring it up one time, but I've talked about it when I've talked to my peers. Like, Caleb Williams cannot play 4 quarters of football. But for some reason, when the lights are bright, when it's clutch time, when the thick gets thin, this guy finds ways to win. That is something that you cannot teach. What has been the thing about Dak Prescott, and I'll bring him up, not to pick on him too much, but what has been the testament about Dak Prescott over the last couple of years? Like, yeah, the guy can play 4 quarters of consistent football, but in big games, big moments, he crumbles up like a Christmas cookie. It's the totally opposite with Caleb Williams. When the thick gets thin, when the clutch gets into clutch, this guy just makes plays. He has the clutch gene. He made big, now granted, I'm not going to sit here and think that the Bears are all world right now. Yes, they did not play a great game on Saturday night. Like, they needed a prayer to win this game. Let's not forget that they botched the field goal management and lucked up on the onside kick. Let's not forget that. But it's about moments in this league, in the NFL. And the Bears, this season, this is the type of game that they've been playing. This team has won wild games this year, which makes me question if they'll have playoff success. This is the reason why I'm not going to jump on this train. I'm making the argument that in one more year, I think in one more year with Ben Johnson, going into next season, you get a full offseason with Ben Johnson. You're building upon the culture that you're setting. I think the Bears are going to be great for the foreseeable future. Now, this year, going into the playoffs, yes, they have an argument to host multiple playoff games. But I really question if they'll have playoff success. They really feel like a team that they're either going to win multiple playoff games or they're going to lose in the first round. Because you don't know what you're going to get. I don't really know if they can count on themselves playing like they did on Saturday and being able to be in a position to win a playoff game. Like, they really needed luck on their side to win that game. But I really want to talk about what I've argued multiple weeks now. Despite how people have downplayed Caleb Williams' play. Yes, statistically, Caleb Williams, not great this season. He's been okay. It's a step above how he was playing last year. But his stats they're not gaudy numbers by any means. It's not, despite their record, it's not like top 10 quarterback type numbers in the conversations for being a top 10 quarterback in the league. But you cannot tell me that when you look at Caleb Williams, you can't say to me and not agree that in one more year, I think Ben Johnson can really unlock Caleb Williams' potential. Because you have a guy who has that clutch gene, and it's something that you can't teach. You can teach a quarterback how to play 4 quarters of football. You cannot teach a quarterback if, when they get nervous, they're able to make plays. That throw that Caleb Williams made, 4th down, got to have it down. Scramble out to your right. You throw a prayer, and it's perfectly placed ball. Overtime. You throw a shot in those conditions, in the cold, over the top. DJ Moore, ball game. And he's sitting there doing that celebration right there afterwards. You just cannot teach that stuff. On top of, Caleb Williams has the benefit of being with Ben Johnson, who has been a phenomenal play caller this season, established a good culture, and they will be able to contend, and they have a bright future. You have a complimentary run game. You have all these key pieces. And yes, I want to give the Bears a pass to a certain degree because guess what? Caleb Williams play without his favorite wide receiver, Roman Dunze. Luther Burden, they play without him as well. So you had 2 tight ends and DJ Moore. Granted, that's better than what some teams have. But when you don't have your security blanket, like, how do you expect a quarterback to play? Roman Dunze has been Caleb Williams' guy this year. He hasn't been on the field for the last 3 weeks. And he was able to come up with a big win. So I cannot kill the Bears for doing that. But it's easy to be optimistic about this team. I think they'll win the division and host a playoff game or multiple playoff games. And I think their ceiling, I really do. I think their ceiling is winning multiple playoff games. I think their ceiling is the NFC Championship game. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender just because I think their style of play, like, they're not a dominating team. Like, I feel like if they face a team who is either just as good as them or slightly better, like, they can't dominate both sides of the ball. Like, their defense is pretty feast or famine. Like, if they can't get a turnover, they can't stop you on 4 downs and force you to punt the ball. They are a turnover-oriented defense. And vice versa with the offense. They're just hit and miss because Caleb Williams is inconsistent. We can't get 4 quarters of consistent football from the offense. So that's the reason why I think their ceiling is the NFC, but it would not surprise me if they just lose their first playoff game. But let's just be totally honest when we think about it from the grand scheme of things. Like, when we think about the Bears, they have very much overachieved this year. I know a lot of people had them in a conversation of possibly making the playoffs just because of Ben Johnson and having him as your as your head coach, offensive guy. He's going to unlock the potential of Caleb Williams. He has done that to a certain degree, but nobody had this team as winning their division and being in a conversation for being the number 1 seed in the NFC right now and hosting multiple playoff games. I didn't have that. I thought they'd get in as a wild card, like a 6 or a 7 seed. They're going to be a 2 or 3 seed or even a 1 seed. So that's phenomenal stuff going on for the Bears. Cardiac Caleb is what I call him. A Cardiac Caleb is playing elite football in the 4th quarter. It's something that you can't teach. And I am super excited for Caleb Williams' future because if Ben Johnson in one offseason can unlock Cardiac Caleb to his full potential and teach him how to play 4 quarters of efficient football, the league better be prepared because this guy is going to be great for the foreseeable future.